Okay, I just want to make sure I'm still recording and everything. Alright, so we have our sword here, and what we want to do is we want to work in the front view now. And what you do is just left click on the front view, make sure it has this blue border around it, then hit the space bar. It may also be affected by whether or not you hit, well, let me check it actually. Okay, so basically make sure that your mouse is over the front view and then tap the space bar. And it'll zoom in and make the front view your only view. Just a note, make sure you have a good resolution so you can see the entire image. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to use the Create Polygon tool to go around this image. So go to Mesh. For earlier versions, it's Edit Polygons, I believe, but it should be around somewhere. It'll probably be near the bottom, and you'll see Create Polygon tool. You can hit this little box here which shows the advanced options for the Create Polygon tool. Okay, now there are two, it has been a while, but there's one major thing I'm seeing here that you would want to pay attention to, and that's divisions. What a division is basically it gives you extra faces on your model to work with. If you don't know what faces are, don't worry about it. I'll maybe cover that in another episode or something like that. I'm just going to do the model really quick just to show you how to get it done. Okay, so I got this sword, and you can actually change this back to the channel box or get it out of the way. You can actually just turn it off altogether. That's just under the red X, this one on the far right, upper right corner. But anyway, okay, so make sure you got the Create Polygon tool selected. You want to click on a point, and click your new point, click another point, click another point, click another point. And instead of clicking the last your first point again, hit enter. And right now it's not completely straight. I can go over that later, but for right now I just want to get this done and working because I take too long on these tutorials. Alright, so you got a basic sword. Well, it's a toy sword, but anyway, what you want to do is go to the channel box, and actually I should show you this in 3D view. So hit the space bar and then go over perspective view with your mouse and then hit the space bar there. Just tap it. And this is what your sword looks like right now. Now you could probably import this to Counter-Strike Source and it might work. I haven't experimented with planes. This is basically a plane that you've just created, or I've just created. It doesn't truly matter though right now, because we're going to give it some dimension. What we do is hold on one second. Now what should have appeared is there's supposed to be an option down in the inputs that lets you basically draw, well, it'll extrude these faces. If you right click and you go to face, see that this is a one face plane, but it's got, well, it's got a specific shape. But what we want to really do is extrude the face, basically stretch it out so that we have some area between, or we want to make like two parts to the sword and then have in between it some space, like, or not space, but you know, the sword. Let me just show you. I'm going to try it this way. No guarantees that this works, but we're going to try it because I don't see my usual way of doing this. So go on either side of it. You want to right click and change to face. Or I'll just do this for you. Okay, so you have your sword here. Hold right click, go to object mode, and actually object mode is default. Hold right click, go to face, and then you'll see a little blue dot. You can left click that with the selection tool, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit mesh and extrude. If you're on an earlier version of Maya, it'll probably be called extrude faces. It'll probably be under edit polygons. But actually I'm going to, I'll just do just regular. Let's see what the defaults do. You'll notice immediately there are a whole bunch of blue boxes that just popped up that I could select. Right now you don't want to touch anything. I'm just holding Alt and tilting the camera so we can look around, just to show you that. You'll notice that you have something similar to the movement tool, these little arrows, but also you have some scaling options at the end of them. What you want to do is you want to grab the blue one, and now that's sort of what I was talking about earlier, or trying to. You have these little boxes sort of that come around, but we don't want it this big. This is sort of a guess and check sort of thing. You can edit these later, but don't make them too big or too small. You just want to, you can experiment with this, I guess. So now we got that. Remember that when you left click, like deselect this, you cannot edit the extrude again. The only way to do it is to go back to object mode, right click the object, and then go to object mode, left click to select, go to the channel box, and you'll see in inputs, you can see extrude face. Local translate Z. So if you change this to 10, you can extend it. Alright, now some fine tuning. Immediately you, well, just look at it. It's not completely even. For this I'm not going to make it completely even, but I'm going to show you a few tricks that you can do to sort of mess around with this and